Our speaking part one topic breakfast and morning routine. Question number one: do you think breakfast is important? Sample one: yes, I do. I think that it gives me like the energy for the whole morning. And whenever I skip breakfast, I often feel dizzy and cannot stay focused on my work. Number two, well, not really. I mean, it's nice if we have time for healthy breakfast, but on the days that I'm too busy, I just skip it altogether and I'm still fine. So I guess it's not that important. Sample three, well, it's a no from me. I don't know what it is for others, but if I ever have breakfast light or heavy, I would find myself either sleepy or craving for some mid-morning snacks. So more often than not, I just skip it altogether, and it's still more than okay to me. Question number two, what do you usually eat for breakfast? Sample one, it depends a lot on the amount of time that I have. If I woke up early, I would go for something quite heavy, like a bowl of pho or sticky rice. But if I'm pressed for time, I would just grab a load of bread on the way to school. Number two, although it's rarely the case that I have breakfast, if I ever do, I think I would go for something light, such as a toast or cereal. I mean, having a hearty breakfast often makes my stomach uncomfortable the whole morning and even put me off my lunch. Question number three, would you like to change your morning routine? Number one, yes, I do. I mean, if possible, I really want to incorporate some kind of exercise into my morning routine. I mean, I have been a couch potato my whole life, and I started to feel the consequence of that lifestyle. I mean, my health is going downhill, and I think that I really need to do something about it. Number two, yes, I really want to wake up earlier to have more time in the morning. I mean, these days I just have enough time for personal hygiene and then I would rush to work. So, if possible, I just want to take things a bit slower to find time for like exercise, a cup of coffee, or maybe a home cooked breakfast. Question number four, are there any differences between your morning in your childhood and your morning now? Number one, definitely yes. When I was a child, my mom just took care of everything for me, from waking me up, preparing me food, and taking me to school. But now I have to do everything on my own. And I guess that's the biggest difference. Number two, well, I guess I was less rushed back in the day. I mean, I often had a lot of time to stretch my body and then had a decent breakfast. But these things are a luxury now. I often find myself in a vicious circle of staying up late, waking up late, and then hurrying to work next morning. Speaking part one topic challenges. Question number one, how do you deal with challenges in your life? Simple one. Well, it's really hard for me to give a definite answer to these questions because I believe that there is no such a thing as a cure all. I have to adopt different approaches to different problems that I face. For example, when it comes to relationship issues, I often reach out to my friends who can see things more objectively. But when it comes to career advice, I may turn to other adults in my family who have more experience in this regard. Number two, I think that it depends a lot on the kind of challenges that I face. But I make it a rule that I would not say anything or do anything when I'm angry or when I'm in panic because they are usually stupid things that just make things worse. So I always try to calm myself down first by, say, taking a deep breath, doing a few minutes of meditation, or just going to bed. Number three, I think that it depends on the seriousness of the problem that I face. For example, if it's just like a bum on the road, like getting a low mark at school, I think that I can figure it out on my own. But when it comes to more complicated matters, I may have to ask for help from friends or family. Question number two, do you like to live a life that has a lot of challenges? Number one, well, although I know that difficulties in life can help us grow, I still prefer a challenge free life which I think is less stressful and less overwhelming. And I mean, so far, I have never encountered any major challenges or setbacks in my life, but I'm still here doing quite fine. So I guess challenges are not that important. Number two, well, I would not say that I exactly like a lot of challenges, but I think that some difficulties in our life can be a good thing because they help us grow. I mean, they push us to our limits and show us what we are capable of. And a life without any challenge could be really monotonous. Question number two, do you like challenge yourself? Number one, yes, once in a while, I would like to step out of my comfort zone, doing things I have never done before. And it could be as simple as like experimenting with a new recipe or setting a higher fitness goal. It can be scary at first, but the sense of achievement afterwards is just worth it. Number two, to be honest, I just prefer to play safe, doing what I know the best. And I think that these days people are so obsessed with getting out of their comfort zone. So instead of taking calculated risk, they just dive in the unknown, only to find themselves ending up in disappointment and failure. Number three, so I would not say that it is exactly something I like to do, but instead I consider it as something I have to do in order to grow. But it's not easy, you know. There's a lot of reluctance and hesitations involved. And whenever I want to take a risk, I have to weigh up the pros and cons very carefully. So I would say that I do not do that very often. Question four, what subject do you think is the most challenging in school? Number one, it has to be math, especially geometry. I think my brain is just not programmed to learn this subject, and every math class feels like torture for me. Number two, to me, it is literature. I don't know what it is in your country, but in mine, I feel like they expect students to use like very flowery and unnecessarily complicated language in our writing, which is not really my strong suit. And also, I do not like the fact that literature can be really subjective. I mean, different people have different interpretations of literary work, but I feel like the teachers at school just grade our writing based on their own interpretation and perspective, which is not fair. Speaking part one, topic childhood memory. Question number one, who do you like to play with as a child? Number one, it was my neighbor Link. I mean, we lived next door to each other, so it's natural that we hang out together a lot. But then I found that we had a lot in common, so we were really close and we were a partner in crime in pretty much everything back then. Number two is my cousin Ling. We are lucky to be friends, relatives, and neighbors at the same time. So, as you can guess, our bond is a bit stronger than with other kids. And even now, she's still an important person in my life. Question two, where did you go to play as a child? Number one, we didn't have like a fixed favorite place where we would play all the time. Basically, we just played outdoor a lot back then. It could be in the yard of someone's house or on the paddy fields. We just had so much fun playing out in the nature rather than gluing our eyes to the screens like kids these days. Number two, I still remember that there was a small park within a walking distance from our house where we kids often spent a lot of time. It has swings, slides, and a large open space for games like hide and seek. And I still remember that we often ditched our nap at noon to sneak out to this park, and it never fails to put a smile on my face whenever I think about this fun and carefree times of my life. Question number three, do you think it is better for children to grow up in the city or in the countryside? Well, I believe that each place has its own benefits and drawbacks. For example, the countryside has a cleaner environment and have a good sense of community, but there's a lack of educational and healthcare facilities. And the situation in the city is quite opposite. Like they provide a better access to education and healthcare, but the environment is so polluted and people here are so cold and distant. So it depends a lot on the priority of the family in these formative years of their children's life to decide which is the best environment for their children to grow up. Number four, what are the best childhood memories that you have? Well, my childhood is full of beautiful memories and I treasure them all. But now thinking about it, I guess the best memory was the time we ditched the afternoon class at school to catch grasshoppers on the paddy fields. We got scolded every time, but because we had so much fun, we did it over and over again. Number two, well, I guess it is my birthday. I mean, my family was not really comfortably off back in the day, so birthdays were the rare occasions I got to wear new clothes and got to eat cakes. And back then, I even wished I had a birthday every month. Speaking part one, topic t-shirts. Question number one, do you usually wear t-shirts? Simple one, yes, I do. They are a must-have item in my wardrobe. I love wearing them because they are so convenient and versatile. I mean, you can mix a t-shirt with jeans, blazers, or skirt. I mean, basically everything to create different looks for different situations. Number two, yes, I do. Like I have three or four t-shirts or so in my wardrobe for my casual and daily wear. They're quite comfortable and convenient, but I would not say that they are the most favorite clothing item because sometimes t-shirts make me look so fat. Number two, yes, I think that t-shirts are a staple in pretty much every wardrobe, regardless of age or gender. This is because they are a convenient and a timeless piece that can be styled in various ways, and whenever I have no idea what to wear, I would always go for a t-shirt. Simple four. Yes, I do. Except for the school time when I have to wear uniforms, I wear t-shirts for pretty much every occasions. I mean, they're so comfortable and convenient, and they can allow me to create different looks effortlessly. Question number two, do you like t-shirts with prints or a picture? Simple one, neither of them actually. They are just too much for my liking. And as a minimalist, my go-to type of t-shirt is a plain one. Number two, well, I would go for prints, but just small ones. And also, I prefer the prints on the areas of the shirts that do not grab too much attention, such as on the sleeve. And normally, I do not like something like the brand's logo or some stupid course they copy on the internet. So if I ever want some kind of print on my t-shirt, I would normally have it customized so that I can have something more personal and meaningful. Question number three, do you think that older people who wear t-shirts are fashionable? I think it's really hard to tell whether a person or an elderly person has a good sense of fashion based on just an item that they wear, and in this case, a t-shirt. I mean, yes, they can be stylish if they know how to mix and match a t-shirt, but it can be the case that they wear t-shirts just because of their comfort, affordability, and convenience. Question number four, have you ever bought t-shirts as a souvenir from holiday or vacations? Number one, yes, I have. Actually, it was a norm around 10 years ago, or at least for my family. I still remember that when I was a freshman, I went on a vacation with my dad and his friends to Da Nang, a famous tourist attraction in central Vietnam, and we bought like 20 white t-shirts with the word welcome to Da Nang at the front and a picture of the most famous place in that city at the back. It's like we are sending a loud and clear message that, hey, we have been back from Da Nang and this is the gift for you. So thinking back is so funny, but I do not do that anymore. Nếu các bạn trả lời là bây giờ các bạn không có mua t-shirt nữa thì người ta sẽ hỏi là why not, hoặc là người ta sẽ hỏi là thế thì bây giờ bạn mua cái gì? Thì nếu mà là why not thì các bạn sẽ có thể trả lời như sau nhé. Well, I just think that t-shirts no longer make perfect gift when it comes to like a souvenir from a vacation. I mean, the fabric of such t-shirts is often low quality, so they're not really breathable, they're not soft, and they tend to fade or shrink after just a few washes. And these days, I prefer to buy some, delicacies from the place I visit that cannot be found in my hometown. Number two, no, I think that t-shirts are really old-fashioned and boring when it comes to a present from a holiday. I like something more personal and special, like a gift with the name of the receiver or their initials engraved on it. It can be a little bit more expensive than the mass-produced t-shirts, but I think that is worth the spend. Speaking part two topic, describe an occasion you wore your best clothes. Well, although I would not call myself fashionable or trendy or something, I try to dress nicely on special occasions like weddings or birthdays. But you know what? The day that I remember the most when it comes to wearing my best clothes is my first day at primary school. To some people, it may not sound like a big deal, but to me and my family, that was a very special day because it marks a milestone in my life. So, the day before the opening ceremony at my primary school, my mother took me to the market for new clothes. Back then, we didn't really have a uniform. Our school allowed us to wear anything we feel comfortable as long as we look presentable at school. So, my mom just went for something basic like a white shirt and navy trousers. The moment I tried the clothes on, I got really emotional. For a start, back in the day, my family wasn't really comfortably off, so I often wore hand-me-down clothes from my older cousins. So just getting to wear new clothes was like a dream to me. Also, this outfit was totally different from the t-shirt and the shorts I often wore at kindergartens, so I felt really mature when I wore them. Looking back, these clothing items weren't exactly flattering on me. I mean, my mother went for something larger than my measurements to make sure that I could wear it for another day. So I looked quite frumpy. But at that time, I just felt so pretty and so proud. Speaking part 2 với mình nhé. Trong quý này thì mình để ý là có hai đề khá là xem nhau ở hai cái bộ forecast. Đó là describe a place where you can see a wildlife và describe a wildlife that you saw. Thì mình sẽ cùng gộp hai đề này với nhau và chúng ta sẽ cùng mô tả một lần chúng ta đến thăm sở thú nhé. So when it comes to a place where we can see a wide range of wildlife like elephants, monkeys, or tigers, the first place that we often think of is the zoo, right? And this is especially the case in big cities like Hanoi, where open spaces and natural landscapes are so few and far between. But unfortunately, my recent experience with the zoo was not so much positive, and I'm going to share with you that. As far as I remember, it was last summer when I was looking for a place to spend the weekends with my relatives, and we were so fed up with the shopping malls and recreational centers in the inner city. So I decided to take my nieces and nephews to the zoo because I wanted them to like connect more with the nature. And they were really excited too because that was the first time they saw wildlife in the flesh. But you know, their excitement soon turned into disappointment the moment we stepped into the zoo. It was so run down, and it seemed to me that this place had fallen into disrepair for years. I mean, the paths were littered with trash and weeds grew pretty much everywhere. But the saddest part here is the animals. They looked like they had been starved for days and their enclosures were filthy. We left after about 20 minutes because actually there wasn't much to see. It was such a pity, and I hope that the city council could do something about it because zoos are, you know, a great place to provide children with not only entertainment but also education about wildlife. Cùng nói đề speaking part 2 với mình nhé. Bốn đề ngày hôm nay chúng ta nối sẽ bao gồm những đề như sau. Describe an occasion your family asked you to help. Describe an occasion you showed a younger person something new. Describe a good decision someone you know made recently. And describe a person from whom people often ask advice. Câu chuyện của chúng ta sẽ xoay quanh một người em họ đang gặp khó khăn trong kỳ thi cấp 3 và chúng ta sẽ giúp người này như thế nào nhé. Chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu với đề đầu tiên nhé. So I'm going to talk about the time when my aunt asked me to tutor my younger cousin. It was last year when he had to take the entrance exam to high school. I don't know what it is in your country, but in Vietnam, this exam is even more important than getting into university. The thing is, my cousin is quite weak in English, one of the three compulsory subjects in the exam. So his mother has sent him to many extra classes of the most famous teachers in our cities, but it didn't seem to work, and I am her last resort. I and my cousin were quite close, so my aunt hoped that I can encourage him to get into the school. I know that this can make or break his future, so although my schedule was quite tight back then, I tried to set aside 2 evenings a week to tutor him. To me, motivation is the key to everything. So the first sessions of every lesson is a pep talk where I acknowledge his progress and gave him praise for that. I also pointed out the area where he could improve. Luckily, after 2 months, his scores improved and he could finally get into the high school that he wanted. I felt really happy for him. And from that experience, I also learned the importance of encouragement and empathy. Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đến đề số 2 về việc là hướng dẫn một người trẻ một thứ gì đó mới nhé. So I'm going to talk about the time I instructed my cousin to make a study plan. I still remember that it was last year when he had to prepare for the entrance exam to high school, which is a very important exam for him. Actually, his dream school had a very low acceptance rate, but no one was worried because my cousin has always been a top performing student in class, and everyone thought that it would be a breeze for him to get into that school. That's the reason why I was a bit surprised when he turned to me for advice. He told me that the workload was becoming overwhelming for him, and he had no idea how to manage them all, and he felt like he was going to crack. I had been there before, so I told him that the very first step is to accept that there is limit to what you can do, and you have to identify what is your priorities at that time, like getting into the high school or like doing extracurricular activities. And after that, what he really needed is a detailed study plan. I introduced an app called My Study Life to him, which helps manage assignment, tasks, and exam all in one place. And with this app, he would be no longer stressed because each morning he would know for sure what to do next. I spent the first week teaching him how to input the data and what to do at different times of a day. After just 1 month, he got used to it and he told me that it was a game changer for him and he could meet his deadlines more easily and can still find time to relax. Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục đến đề về một người mà chúng ta thường hỏi lời khuyên nhé. So the person that I and other younger people in my big family often turn to for advice is my cousin. She is just 3 years older than me, but I feel like she is much more mature than I am. It seems to me that she has been through it all because she kind of have the answer for pretty much every problem that we have. But the best thing about my cousin giving advice is that she never tried to be a know-it-all who talks down to me or my problem. She's always really modest and sympathetic. So, and now let me share with you a time when her advice is a game changer for me. It was last year when I had to prepare for the entrance exam to university, which is a very important milestone in my life. My workload back then was crazy, and I had no idea how to manage them all. So I reached out to her. And after listening to my story, she told me that the very first step that I need to do is to accept the fact that there is limits to what I can do, and I cannot multitask all the time. And the next step is to make a detailed study plan. She introduced an application called My Study Life to me, which helps manage everything from assignments to tasks and deadlines in one place. Although I struggled in the first few weeks to get into a new habit, after a while I got used to it and I felt like it was a whole new world to me. Each morning after waking up, I was no longer stressed because I know exactly what to do next and what deadline is coming. And I was really thankful for my cousin's advice and support. Tiếp theo chúng ta sẽ cùng làm câu chuyện về việc làm một cái good decision nhé. Nếu mà dựa vào sample phía trước thì mình sẽ nói về việc là một cái quyết định của người em họ mình trong cái việc là chúng ta nên tập trung vào điều gì cho thời điểm hiện tại. Và mình sẽ mượn khoảng tầm 50% nội dung vừa rồi nhé. Alright, so I'm gonna share with you my cousin's recent decision in his study. So talking about my cousin a little bit, he is always a top performing student at school. So everyone thinks that he could do everything he wants when it comes to study. But last month he came to me telling me that he felt so overwhelmed with his study. He has so many classes to attend, a lot of homework to complete, and also extracurricular activities to join. He had no idea how to manage them all and felt like he was going to crack. And I told him that the very first step is he had to accept that there's limit to what he can do. And if he kept biting off more than he can choose, he would end up in a mess. And now he had to identify his priorities. What is more important, getting into university or extracurricular activities to polish his application profile? And after a while, he decided to put aside these activities and focus on getting into the university first. And I think that it was a wise decision to make. Sample số 2 thì mình sẽ có một câu chuyện hơi khác đi một tí để chia sẻ cho mọi người một nhóm từ vựng mới nhé. Đó là câu chuyện về cũng là một người chị thôi và quyết định nghỉ việc để đi làm một công việc hoàn toàn khác. Vậy cùng theo dõi sample với mình nhé. So I'm gonna share with you about my cousin decision to quit her job as a marketing executive. So talking about my cousin first, since she was a child, she has always been the favorite student of every teacher and the golden child of every house. So I really admire her. And because my cousin is always a top performing student at school, it is a breeze for her to get into a top university and then land a well paid job after graduation. And everyone thought that she would continue to climb the corporate ladder and earn even more money. But all of a sudden, she told everyone that she decided to quit to become a travel blogger. Needless to say, that announcement shocked everyone, myself included. But then she told me that she has never wanted to be seen as a nerd with high marks at school. What she really wanted to do is to go out there to explore the world. From outside looking in, she seems to have it all, a good job, beautiful appearance, but actually, she feels like being imprisoned at the workplace every day. She's burned out and she doesn't want to be a corporate slave anymore. She really wants to travel to different parts of the world, meeting more people, and doing things she has never done before. And although she would not earn as much as she did, that way she would feel much more fulfilled. And I really respected and admire her decision. And I think that she is really brave to do so.